So one of the big strategies that we teach our students is metacognition, and we all know the benefits of metacognition. So the first module that I included in the redesign is about mindfulness, which is directly related to metacognition, but they're not exactly the same. So I put some quick little videos in there that are really fun. I've used those at the beginning of classes to kind of help students come to the room mentally, physically, emotionally, more than just physically, because I tell them that we have a lot of learning to do and it's really not sufficient just to bring our bodies. So what we know from research is that developmental students and students who are just inexperienced with reading and writing and critical thinking in general can benefit from metacognitive strategies, particularly if they know what those strategies are called. And this is from a study by Flowers and Hayes. If they know which strategies they're practicing and they have a toolbox that they can they can refer to. And so this might be one of those situations where you give them some notes and you expect them to, and this is another skill that we try to teach them, is annotating, but also active listening, and also kind of organizing material so that they can go back to it and they can use it to help them learn. So we know that metacognition is thinking about your thinking, and it's very helpful for students of all different levels, but helping them know what they know and helping them become aware of how their brain works is actually very, very instrumental in helping them increase their reading skills and their writing skills, and of course also their critical thinking skills. And what we want them to do, since so many of our students go to 1301 next, and we know that they're going to have to be evaluating arguments, they're going to have to be making arguments and assertions and sort of evaluating claims. Well, we want to begin to teach them that terminology, but also that way of thinking, and we can do that through metacognition. So this is an article, and I'll put a link there for you. But this is sort of explain the rationale for it. But these are the specific things that you can tell a student. Like at the beginning of the course, they need to make a plan. Like we don't need to be the ones coming up with their plans. They need to make a plan, and this is critical for them because each person has a different schedule and each person comes from a very different background with reading and writing, literacy, maybe even language and culture. Each of them has a different family situation, a level of support, etc. So they need to, making a study plan is actually one of the things that students used to learn how to do in TOSU and College Success. It's what all good students kind of do intuitively, but these are developmental students, and we know that for some of them it's their first time to come back to college, so it can't be intuitive. We have to make it conscious for them. So here are some specific strategies that we can share with them, give to them, and this could even be an exercise if you wanted to make it an assignment, and I think it's really important to do that. And so here's like how you might apply it, and you could do this. You could have them make a plan of their own. They could present it to their peers. They could load it on a Google Doc. They could make a little short video or presentation about it. They could even just journal about it and write about it. But you could also follow this up with some of the videos that I have for you here. One is, and these are mostly about mindfulness, but they are predicated upon the idea that metacognitive tools can help students become more academically able, more capable, also more confident. So here are some about, and they're very short, 5 minutes and under. Some of them are animated, some of them are not. So here's mindfulness meditation for university students. Here's mindfulness of gratitude, which is very inspirational. Here's the science behind mindfulness. Why mindfulness is a superpower. It's one of my favorite ones. How it changes the brain, because that's what we want them to become kind of more aware of, is what's happening inside their brains, so they can identify when they become frustrated while they're reading, or they can identify when they get into the realm of perfectionism and erase everything that they've written, or when they're reluctant to write because they think that it's not perfect. So all of these levels of awareness contribute to their success in class. And they are necessary for critical thinking, the kind of critical thinking that we're going to ask them to do in the reading. So we're asking them to read critically and to think about what the author intended, what its purpose was, did it work? We're asking them to evaluate. So in order to do that, they have to be able to look at themselves. They have to be able to think about their thinking so that they can even understand the concept of thinking about someone else's thinking and evaluate that, their language, and evaluate their motives and their effectiveness in that. So I will add this link for you, and I hope that this is kind of an interesting kind of set of tools that you might want to use to raise their awareness about metacognition and critical questioning, and descriptive outlining goes along with that, and I have a document in the course for you about that, and also the mindfulness videos.